Hi, friends. I'm Laura Adams, and you're listening to the Money Girl Podcast. Thanksgiving is coming up this week, and it's my favorite holiday because, as you know, it's about acknowledging what we're grateful for. One of the things that I'm most grateful for is having the ability to create this podcast. And for you, without listeners and sponsors to fund the work, this show wouldn't be possible. There's a lot more work that goes on behind the scenes to create this show than most people realize. I'm fortunate that Money Girl has hundreds of thousands of downloads every month. It's a platform that's allowed me to write multiple books and launch a career as a personal finance expert, speaker, teacher, and spokesperson. So I just want to take a moment to say thanks for being here because it really means so much to me. In this episode, I'll discuss the science of being grateful and how it affects your financial success. And I'll give you 5 important tips to cultivate more gratitude into your daily life. To check out the links and resources that I'm going to mention, just visit the Money Girl page at quickanddirtytips.com. This is episode number 380, called The Science of Gratitude and Financial Success. I'll start with a wonderful quote from author Melanie Beatty. She says, "Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow." It's wonderful. We hear a lot about the benefits of gratitude, but what's really fascinating to me is to know that they aren't just theories. Scientists are actually studying the effects of gratitude and how to use it to achieve more goodness in our lives. One of the world's leading scientific experts on gratitude is Dr. Robert Emmons, a professor of psychology at the University of California, Davis. He's written multiple books about giving thanks, including Gratitude Works, a 21-day program for creating emotional prosperity. In order to have more gratitude, it's important to define exactly what it is. According to Dr. Emmons, gratitude is made up of 2 parts. First, it's an affirmation of goodness. You might acknowledge that there are good things in the world and that you've received good gifts during your lifetime. This sounds simple, but can be very difficult if you're facing serious challenges like health problems, getting out of debt, or clinical depression. It's easy to buy into a me versus the universe mentality and only focus on what's bad or has gone wrong during your life. But gratitude doesn't mean that you believe your life is perfect. It means that when you consider life in its entirety, you identify some amount of goodness in your life. There's a second and important component of gratitude that Dr. Emmons points out. He says we have to recognize that the sources of goodness are outside of ourselves. That means you must realize that other people, or even a higher power, gave us many gifts that we use to achieve goodness in our lives. In other words, you should consider where that goodness came from by remembering how you've been helped and supported by other people. Maybe it was a family member, a teacher, boss, or a role model that you've never even met. We can appreciate positive traits in ourselves, but true gratitude involves a humble acknowledgement that much of what we have is due to the goodness of others. The highest form of gratitude is appreciating what you have and repaying those who've helped you by paying it forward to help others. The research on gratitude documents the psychological, physical, and social benefits it can bring, including increasing happiness by boosting a variety of emotions and mindsets, such as feeling satisfaction from life and experiencing joy, enthusiasm, positivity, and optimism. It strengthens relationships by feeling closer to friends, being more satisfied with romantic partners, having compassion, and promoting forgiveness, even between ex-spouses after a divorce. Reducing anxiety is another benefit by having fewer feelings of helplessness or worry, and promoting better sleep by falling asleep faster, sleeping more hours each night, and feeling more refreshed in the morning. And gratitude has been shown to improve overall health by boosting the immune system, reducing illness, lowering blood pressure, and having fewer aches and pains. And lastly, raising resiliency by recovering from negative or traumatic events faster, including Vietnam War veterans with PTSD. That last benefit that I mentioned, resiliency, it's a big part of how gratitude can transform your financial life and allow you to have more success. No matter if financial challenges are the result of earning too little, spending too much, or a dangerous combination of both, it takes a lot of resiliency to bounce back. If you have a grateful disposition, studies show that you're much more likely to view negative life events with the proper perspective, which allows you to learn from them with less stress. In the face of serious trauma and suffering, gratitude blocks negative emotions like resentment or regret, which can destroy happiness or encourage depression. If you're grateful, you can begin to untangle a problem, such as being over your head in debt or having a looming foreclosure, and consider solutions much more quickly, instead of getting permanently stuck in them. Just because gratitude can improve your life doesn't mean that it's easy to cultivate. So use these 5 tips to become more grateful in your daily life. Tip number 1. Keep a gratitude journal. I'm sure you've heard that setting aside time to write down what you're grateful for in a journal is a healthy practice. Studies by many psychologists have backed up the benefits of this exercise and shown it to increase happiness. Journaling is a great way to remind yourself on a regular basis of the gifts you have and all the good things you enjoy. It focuses your attention on developing more positive thinking and eliminating negative or ungrateful thoughts. You might list one thing you're grateful for each day, or 5 things once a week. It could be something seemingly small, such as being able to listen to this podcast or experience a beautiful sunset. Tip number 2, write a gratitude letter. Research has shown that writing a letter of gratitude to someone who helped bring goodness into your life, such as a family member, friend, or mentor, increases happiness. Tip number 3, remember the bad. To be grateful, it can help to think about the hard times you may have experienced in the past and how far you've come since then. Tip number 4, use visual reminders. It's easy to forget that gratefulness is important, so use a visual reminder, such as a sticky note on your bathroom mirror, on your laptop, refrigerator, or even a framed picture on the wall to trigger daily thoughts of gratitude. And tip number 5, watch your language. Instead of talking about problems or what you don't have, focus on the good you have in your life. Grateful people speak much more about their gifts or abundance than what they may lack. They also tend to smile more and say thank you more often. Being grateful is never about settling for less or not striving to achieve your true potential. It's an understanding that life isn't always in our control and that we must appreciate the gifts we do have right now, both big and small. I'm glad you're listening. Cha-ching! That's all for now, courtesy of Money Girl, your grateful guide to a richer life.